Good morning, everyone. So this is my daily, well, not daily, weekly mask or bi-weekly. I try to do other things for the skin on a daily basis, but in terms of heavy masks that are difficult to remove, I try to do it at least once, but usually twice a week. And I feel those things are very important and they add up, so it's important to force yourself to do it. Sleep well, drink a lot of water, don't wrinkle your face as much as you can, try to avoid alcohol and avoid sun as much as you can. Those things really make a big difference over time. It's now about 12 o'clock. I finished an article, I answered a lot of emails. So today is August 11th, and the most important task for the day is to edit at least 70 pages of strategy book. And this will take the bulk of my day, probably about 6 hours. Yesterday I have finished 50 pages and it was very hard. Today I am aiming to do 70 pages. So I just need to power through it. Number 2, I want to review and send feedback to editor on 2 episodes of competitive strategy. So that will take me 1 hour. Number 3, I need to review work in progress for website redesign and provide feedback. And that will probably take me about 45 minutes. Number 4, I need to quality check, edit where necessary, new episodes from our programs for this week's releases. I need to answer more emails, about 45 minutes. For this one, I will need 2 hours. I also need to upload video to Russian channel. I must be very tired. I really struggle to write today. Number 7. And again, I'm writing way more than what I can do in a day. This is number 1 priority. If I do this and do maybe a few other urgent things, I will be good. But I'm just writing it down because I like to have variety of things that I can select from. So I do need to create English channel. But today is Tuesday. I can do it on Wednesday, so maybe I should not overload my day too much. So let's keep it for tomorrow. This one I want to do today because I want to be releasing new episode on Wednesday morning Moscow time, which means Tuesday evening Pacific Standard Time. And another thing I want to try to finish today is I usually work on 2 computers, but my Mac stopped working, so I borrowed a laptop and I need to install Premiere Pro on it, which is a program I use to edit videos so that I can edit and export on that second laptop, which will make my life much easier because when I'm exporting, it's very hard to do anything else. And 8, I want to create outline for a video I want to make for our FIRMSconsulting YouTube channel, which will be about 25 best business books. So here is what we need to do today. Let's get started. I edited 2 pages of the book and I'm now reviewing 2 episodes and then I will go back to editing pages. If you guys want to know how I review episodes that I get from the editor when it comes to big programs that we record 4K with multiple very expensive cameras, the way I do it is, so usually there are a few reviews. So this is the final review where I just check for quality now. This is after rounds of reviews previously, and I do it in 2 parts. Part 1, I just carefully watch the episode to identify any issues such as, for example, audio levels, any problems with the switching of cameras, sometimes the screen blinks, things like that. And the second part is I go through the episode again and I check all the titles, all the writing that we have, and I also check the content. Because when I prepare the scripts for the episodes like that, I actually write the script for an episode, so I know the content, and then I go through the script as I'm listening to the episode, and this way I am able to identify if editor missed any parts that I asked them to include. So this is what it looks like. So you see, for example, predicting competitors part 1, game theory. In my script, I know it is episode 35, predicting competitors part 1, game theory. And then I just go through the text while I'm listening to make sure nothing was missed.
As a strategist, you're also going to face a lot of decisions that may not always be a good idea. Meaning, it's always better to do something that's going to give you a wider wedge than the other guy, if it's going to give you a wider wedge. But suppose the answer is, I've got an action, like making an investment. It'll be a good idea if the competitor doesn't imitate me.
And now I'm doing the same thing with episode 36. I reviewed it first for accuracy, made sure that audio level is good, made sure that there are no weird changes in cameras, no blinking screens, nothing weird about the video itself. So as a viewer, if I was watching it, everything seems good to me. And then the second thing I'm gonna do now is to review for content. So as I'm reviewing for content, first thing I'm reviewing is making sure that all the text makes sense. Kevin P. Coyne, McKinsey's former worldwide strategy practice co-leader and director.
First thing, good news is you might get to skip all the game.
And then title and subtitle of the episode. So the title is Predicting Competitors, Part 2. And then subtitle, Influencing Competitors to Do Nothing. Influencing competitors to do nothing. So this is correct. The last thing I need to do is just to read through the script, listen to the video, and making sure that everything that I had in the script was included in the video.
Now, let's talk about how you get real about predicting competitors. First thing, good news is you might get to skip all the game theory stuff completely. Because you know what no one ever asks when they sort of set these things up? What about the chance that the competitor is going to do nothing? What if he's just not going to respond? Then you don't have to get into all that difficult stuff about what his options are and all that kind of stuff, right? So, first question you ask is he going to do anything? Now, he's only going to do something if, number one, he recognizes that you've done something. And you may remember in an earlier video, there are ways.
I'm on page 61. So I need to be drinking more of this. Ideally, I want to get those 3 bottles like that. Right now, I'm lucky if I have one like that. But I do have tea, which is herbal tea, so I hope that will be enough to supplement for now, until I train myself to drink more water. Anyway, so now I'm going to be editing an episode, one of the episodes that will be releasing this week. So I just wanted to show you how I do it. So this particular episode is the last episode with Ritika from TCO5, the Consulting of 5. And this is a program where we take real candidates who want to join top consulting firms like McKinsey, like BCG, and we train them, and some of them get placed into those firms. And it is incredibly hard to be placed in one of those firms. So Ritika, after going through TCO5 with us, was placed into McKinsey Chicago. So this is the last episode that I need to edit with Ritika, and we will finish release of TCO5 with Ritika after this episode. And this is obviously not the only episode that will be coming out this week, but this is just the one that I'm working on right now. So let me show you. So I'm editing in Premiere Pro. I'm editing audio, video, everything in Premiere Pro. It's just easier for me to just use one program for everything. So here what I will do is, first of all, this is how it looks when I get it from the editor. So all the unnecessary pauses are cut out, weird sounds, like a cell phone ringing and so on, cut out. So our members can have the best experience possible. And then what I do is I add some labels. So I put TCO5 here in the corner, I put website addresses in this corner. And then I'm just going to listen to this entire episode, which is probably about maybe 1 hour, 10 minutes. It's hard to see now because probably somewhere there's a in and out selected, that's why. So if we clean it, it is 47 minutes. So usually they are longer, but this one is 47 minutes. This is because this was not actually a training session, it was a debrief session. Basically, after Ritika received an offer from McKinsey, this is the episode after she received the offer. So we're talking about her experience and so on. So let me get it done. And by the way, while I am editing the episode with Ritika, I'm also loading the new episode for the Russian channel. That will be episode number 4. Let's see how it goes. I hope I will be able to maintain all the 3 channels that we have. If they do well, I will have more energy to do it, because when you see that your work helps somebody, then you have more energy to actually do the work. Because if you just do the work and no one watches it, then it's hard to find motivation. So fingers crossed, it will be helpful to people. But I think it would. I'm just thinking about myself when I was starting out, and I tried to do videos that would help me and people like me who are starting out, who want to change the trajectory of their careers, who want to break out of their orbit. And you can. I was born in former Soviet Union. My family was so poor that even in former Soviet Union, when many people had government given apartments, my family was renting, and one time we were kicked out of the apartment in the middle of winter in Russia. I think I was probably 3.5. My brothers were just born. I have twin brothers and a sister. My brothers were just born, and I remember us going through the snow, and my parents were pulling my brothers on whatever thing that you use on the snow, and some bags with clothes, and no one could help me. And I remember how hard it was to walk in that very high snow. I had to lift my legs really high to keep on moving forward. And I remember how hard it was. It was so hard. So if you think that you are stuck with whatever situation you were born into, you are not. And maybe at some point I will show you guys the apartment where I grew up. My mother actually just recently sent me some videos because my parents currently selling that apartment, and you will be shocked at how different it is from my current home. And if I could do it, you can do it. So just a little pep talk if you guys need one. Oh, and I'm doing one more thing. I'm doing 3 things at the same time. At the same time, I'm also trying to install Premiere Pro on a new laptop that I have on my table. And my hope is to use this new laptop that I borrowed for editing and exporting. Because especially when you export, your computer becomes so slow. And I always have so many things to do. So I actually usually use iMac, but it broke. It cannot start. And I cannot take it to Apple right now because of what's going on. All the stores near me are closed. So I borrowed this laptop. Fingers crossed it will work, because it's a little bit of a broken laptop. That's why it was available. And fingers crossed it will work, and that Premiere Pro will install, and I will be able to use it. By the way, if you guys are not familiar with how to use Premiere Pro, how to download it, the way I use it is I have Adobe Creative Cloud subscription, and then you can download any of the apps on, I think, 2 computers at any point in time. So I will have to now transfer my second computer from the Mac to this new laptop, and you will be able to use it on 2 computers. And by the way, as an entrepreneur, having a creative cloud is very useful because, for example, for me, I use InDesign, I use Premiere Pro, I use After Effects. If I would purchase each of those apps separately, it will be much more expensive than buying them as a bundle. So here we go. We just double click and say open, allow, and it is installing. And by the way, one of the beautiful things about using Creative Cloud is that you get constant updates from Adobe. So you have to get updates to have the best possible app available for work. And also another good thing is that, for example, it is often that people will send you, well, I usually request, and I recommend you also request, project files that can be edited. So for example, when I work with editors to work on the videos, or when I work with a book designer, I always agree from the beginning that one of the deliverables must be a project file, because you don't want to be 1 year, 2 years down the line and you urgently need to make a change and you cannot get hold of the person anymore because maybe they moved, maybe they're no longer freelancing and so on. So I always get project files. And when people send you project files, let's say if they are using the latest version and you have a little bit of a older version, you will not be able to open the project file. So it is super valuable for me, at least as an entrepreneur, and I'm sure for you if you are also an entrepreneur, to have Creative Cloud subscription. And this is not sponsored, of course, just my opinion. And also, if you reach out to Adobe, they usually have promotions that they would not be widely advertising, but if you ask them, they often will be able to offer you something, especially given, I think they have only annual contracts. So for annual contract, I think they always offer you something that is better than what is advertised. So this is my thumbnail for the Russian video that I just made. Looks like this. If it doesn't work, I will change it. This is what work in progress looks like for the redesign of the website. So if you compare it to FIRMSconsulting.com as it is right now, it's extremely different. It's much better. Of course, it still requires more work, but it's moving in the right direction. This is some reviews. Here's my outline for the upcoming video. I'm still working on it, but it's almost done. So this is just different books that I want to mention and some things I want to mention when I mention the books. So it's almost 9 p.m. Let's take a look what I was able to accomplish today. I was able to only edit about 20 pages, and I'm also editing PowerPoint slides as I go through the book. This one is done. I reviewed and sent feedback to editor on 2 episodes of Competitive Strategy. I reviewed work in progress website redesign and feedback provided. I almost finished this one. I only have about 20 minutes left. I spent a lot of time on emails today, uploaded video and released it, installed Premiere Pro on a new laptop, and prepared outline for the new FC YouTube video on 25 best business books. I almost finished it, maybe another 15 minutes and it will be done. So I'm gonna close the vlog here. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you guys would like to see in future vlogs. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to accomplish a goal of achieving 10,000 subscribers by the end of this year. So if you subscribe, you will be really helping me out. I will be releasing 3 new videos per week or more. The 3 videos that will be coming on schedule will be Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank you so much for watching. Stay focused, stay productive, do good things for the world. And I'm looking forward to see you next time.